So the play, like I said before, has been produced in 4 different locations, and each of those locations offered a very unique experience. And there was something about the location that we really wanted to tap into the local community there. So the first production took place in Juneau, Alaska, which was really important for us. Half of the actors were Native Alaskans, and so they brought their own cultural representation to the work. And then the other half of the cast were African Americans, primarily from New York. And so you had a beautiful fusion of 2 different cultures coming together, which the play does in itself. And then we had one of the great aspects of that production was we really wanted to tap into the nature aspect of the play. Obviously, nature is a huge part of the storytelling, a huge theme in the play. And so I felt like Native Alaskans really responded emotionally to how nature was woven into the story. For example, there was a moment in which the characters encounter a bear, and if you live in Alaska, you have a very personal relationship with bears. They live amongst bears. And so there was a moment in the play where the entire cast is backstage and they make the sound of a bear, and it scared the people in the audience because it's very likely that a bear could be walking by the theater. So that was really great. And then the second production took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we cast again Native Americans in that production as well. One of the actresses was actually from this tribe in which her character is from. And so what she brought to the play was she wanted to use some of the language of the Creek into the play, and so we changed some of the script around so that it was authentic in that way. And they had a visual artist who was also Seminole, who did a visual display outside of the theater relating to his history and his community. And the other actors were African American, sort of legends in the Minneapolis community. And this was the first play they all got to be in together. So for them, it was very, very important, this project. And then the director is a very well-known director in the United States. He's directed all of August Wilson's work, and he lives in Minneapolis. And so he directed and brought this really incredible cast together. And because there's a huge population of Native Americans in Minnesota, in fact, one of the largest Native American populations in the United States is Minnesota, the Lakota. So, of course, this story resonated with them in a very powerful way. And then the third location, the play took place in Los Angeles at Los Angeles Theater Center. And they cast the play in conjunction with Native Voices at the Autry. And so, again, we had half the cast were Native Americans. And for them, the major theme was migration, because most of the population from Los Angeles, the people that live there come from other parts of the country. And so the migration theme we really pushed. And we did a really powerful project with the African American Museum in Los Angeles, and they did an incredible display just for this play around Seminoles and around migration. And the production there, the director is a very well-known director in Los Angeles. Her name is Shirley Jo Finney, and she's actually Seminole as well. And so she felt like this production was very important for her because her mother, who's no longer with us, really instilled with her a sense of her history. And so that we tapped into various themes there, and then in a very beautiful and ironic way, having the play done here at the University of South Florida, we really get to tap on where the story actually started. And so that's the big theme that we're using here, and of course education. What are we drawing from specifically here in Tampa is because there is a very celebrated and known cultural lens through the Seminole people. That's what we're tapping in here, but also the environment, because the people in the play that you will see all have migrated from Florida, and so they're bringing with them a sense of the Florida, of the wildlife, of the vegetation, the clothing, the cuisine, all comes from Florida. And so we think it will resonate in a very particular way with people who live in Tampa.